Hey guys, this is Vaibhav and welcome back to my channel, Power again. Let's configure something which you can see on my screen. Uh, we'll be having firewalls, load balancers, Nexus switches, normal Cisco switches. Plus, we'll try to add some more firewalls for some other purposes. As of now, I don't know how big setup this will be, but whatever you are seeing on my screen, initially I'll try to configure all those things and we'll try to run setup whether everything is get configured properly, and then we'll try and see how we can add new things on this setup. This will be kind of environment you'll be seeing whenever you're working on any uh, company on any sort of projects. We'll try to bring up whatever the free tools we have in a networking world together and try to troubleshoot different things, try to learn different technologies. Uh, Many more. My plan is to add many more things here slowly. This series I generally not giving any name. Basically, this series will be having everything, whatever we will be having uh, to be utilized for lab and demo purpose. I'm trying to create those things. First of all, in this video, I'll try to configure two things. One, as you can see here, we'll try to configure firewall the way it looks here, and the load balancer the way it looks here. Then slowly we'll try to bring these systems together, you know, we'll connect those things to this firewalls and the load balancer directly, and we'll try to test that, and later on we'll try to bring new switch in this because this switches will be running onto the GNS environment. So I have to see the things how we can integrate your VMware environment with the GNS environment and uh, bring all those things together. There is a lot of things going to be involved here, a lot of new things, a lot of new techniques. Uh, as of now, I don't know how that going to be happen, but I'll try to do so. But initially, you will be seeing this firewall configuration, this load balancer configuration, and this firewall is protecting this internal environment, and we'll try to protect this load balancer as well from the firewall reaching what are the malicious things towards the load balancer. Or we can do the other way out here. We'll try to place load balancer, uh, I mean, onto the internet facing. For example, the load balancer will be here, uh, and then you will be having your firewall who's protecting your internal resources like that. So we'll try and do many things in this I would say series, and try to learn how this sort of setups is configured. For now, initially, let's have the this setup: a firewall configuration, load balancing configuration. This is your internal environment. This will be your DMZ environment, and you'll be getting the protection from whatever the traffic coming from this internet towards your environment like this. Plus, we'll be enlighten you guys with different terms, some terminologies with respect to the firewalls, with respect to the load balancers, with respect to the switches. Those terminology will be useful to understand uh, these things. Uh, so let's begin with the firewall configuration, then we'll start with the load balancer configuration. Firewall, I would prefer here start with the checkpoint firewall. Uh, Initially, the setup will be having the checkpoint firewall. Once we are good understanding on the checkpoint firewall, we'll replace this firewall with the parallel to firewall. And once we'll be having a good understanding with the parallel to firewall as well, we'll replace with the Fortinet firewall, and so on. Later on, we'll try to see if we can bring also the ASAs like that. So I think you will be having understanding what is in my mind, what I'm going to present. So let's start. Uh, for the checkpoint firewall things, I'll be having, I mean, I have a lot of videos on that for initial configuration and setup and everything. So if you are not familiar with the checkpoint firewall, just go ahead and watch those videos and come back to this video, because this is kind of advanced level thing I'm planning to do, so that the basic things which already I have on my channel, those will not again come up here, and the time for that is getting utilized for those basic things. So let me take you to the uh, firewall configuration. So take a snapshot of this topology now, and I'll be having my configuration according to this. And also, guys, you'll be understanding how you can set up these things on the VM environment, so you don't have to worry about buying expensive, environment for your lab. So everything you can do on your VM environment, which is not costing you anything. So let me go ahead and start delivering these things. So let me take my topology to the another PC here, and let me bring my VM environment. So right now I have a SMS and the gateway configuration. So let me just log into this security management server. IP addresses and everything going to be changed accordingly. Initially I have this setup. I'm just going to change things on this setup only. So basically I have a different username for CLI access and different username for smart console access. So as I can show you on my screen, basic topology, and here if you see this gateway is calling me that that gateway is not having a license. So let me see if I'm able to ping gateway without license. Okay, I can able to ping. So let's quickly go ahead and put the license into the gateway. So if you don't know how you can, generate a free license for your checkpoint environment, I'll be having, I mean, I have a lot of videos on that. Just go ahead and check. I'll be put the link into the description to understand that. So I am able to log into the gateway. Let me just do this. If you can see, I have already have the license key with me. This is my gateway IP address, so that is there. I'm just putting into here. I'm just copy pasting this command into the command line, and I think it's worked. I can see the license is now change. Let me say if I can refresh this. Let's do that. Let's just do this. I have the license in place, so I'll be not having any issues. Now let's go ahead and do the topology thing. So as per my topology, the IP addresses are slightly different than what I have for the gateway. So let's slightly do one change here. Instead of that 100 IP address, consider the gateway external IP address as 200. Okay, I'll be going to change that shortly. So next time when you see this topology, you will be having that IP address with you. So let me just take this into the new screen. Let me clear up this. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump to the yes 192.168.200. Let me just accept basic connection. Okay, let me just say log data acquired, whatever it is. If you go to the network interfaces, you will be seeing these interfaces with the IP addresses. Uh, so ETH 0, it will be having 10.192.1.200. ETH 1, which I would say my DMZ zone. So I will edit the IP address with this, and it will be having uh, say 192.168, sorry, 172.16.0.100 as per the topology. Subnet mask same, hardware address. I'll tell you this is important, kind of. So this is the hardware address. So I can see this 172.16.0.100 is the hardware IP address. Sorry, 172.16.0.100 is your DMZ interface IP address. So let me just see. Let's better give it a comment like DMZ interface so that I will understand it is DMZ interface. Click OK. I'm not sure if I can edit the name here if interface name is getting also edited. That is not possible. That is fine. And let's have interface 2 as your internal interface. So as per the topology, this IP address should be 10.10.10.100. So let's make you like that 10.10.10.100 and give it as an internal interface as a name, or sorry, as a comment, so that I will understand it's the internal interface. And with this guy, it's okay. I'm just adding the name. Give it a name external interface. External interface. Okay. Right. So let me just bring this guy back here. And just I'll tell you the few simple things with respect to the VMware thing. So let me show you this. So when we talk about the VMware environment, we'll be having multiple choices in terms of we'll be having multiple choices here. For example, if I go to the settings, If I go on to the interfaces, if you see, we have a NAT, host, custom, specific, like that. So we'll be having those choices here. So accordingly, I thought, like, let's configure this VM topology to understand well. So what is my plan, guys? Let me show you my plan. So let's have this guy. Uh, External interface in a bridge mode. Okay. DMZ involvement, let's have in a NAT mode, or I would say let's let's have this DMZ involvement in, say, VNet 1 and internal involvement into the NAT. So this is what the interface, I would say, the traffic communication paths I'm going to give uh, to my gateway, and accordingly will be having with these load balancers. If you're not understanding this right now, don't worry. In a lab, we'll be understanding this more clearly. So this is what we'll be going to configure. So this network will be having in a NAT. Whatever the network is here, we'll be having in a VNet one, and whatever traffic is coming from the outside, we'll be having in a bridge. So for now, just understand this thing. Uh, Let me clear this guy and let me take it out from here. So accordingly, we'll be configure these things. So number one thing, just just come here. So let's see. This is the external interface. I just open this for sake of minute and just see. Just copy this, guys. I mean this MAC addresses. So let me take a notepad here. So if I say ETH 0, which is my external interface, which is having this MAC address. Okay, let me cancel this. Let's take ETH1. So this is my DMZ interface. So this guy is ETH1, which is acting as a DMZ interface. And let me take this MAC with me. And let's take this ETH2, edit this guy. This is your internal interface. So let me copy this MAC. So it is ETH2, it's my internal interface. I'm having this guy as a MAC. Okay. For now, I need these details from this web UI. So I have no more work with this. So let me just get rid of it. Now let me have just note down this thing, guys, with respect to your lab. If you're not following the lab, I mean, if you're not doing any lab with this video, just have this thing with you. Just take a screenshot of it. You'll be understanding in a bit. So let's go ahead here into the gateway setting, and here if you see, this is my bridge environment. If I compare the MAC address here, so just I wanted to show you this comparison for the sake of understanding. So the MAC is matching, guys. See, 00 OC 29 10 52 80 86. So this is the bridge mode, and this MAC is here, right? So accordingly, I would say the communication going to happen, and which is happening, right? But now let me check this guy's MAC and take this guy. So here also, if you see, the ETH1 MAC is matching, which is good. And if you see this guy, and this you can see the MAC is also matching 5280 here also. That means we have right interface configure on the this VMware, and the similar right interface we have onto the firewalls, right? So this guy, the second number, it is one is your DMZ guy, this one, okay. And as per our topology, let me just do this for you guys also. So external interface will be in a bridge mode. So this guy, DMZ environment, I said let's have it in a VNet one. Okay, let me do this. And internal environment will be put it into the net, right? Like this. Similarly, we'll be configuring things with respect to the VMs, right? So now this guy is okay, bridge adapter. So I'm not changing there, but let's go with the ETH1 here, ETH2 as adapter. We'll be having this in a VNet 1. Let's go ahead and put into it. But before that, let me show you one more thing, guys. I forgot to show you this. If you go to the edit of your VMware server, and from there here virtual network editor, so we'll be having these things, okay. So just to take a snapshot of it. So right now vmnet 0 is fine. I will change that. uh, let's do this. Let's change the settings, okay. My plan is vmnet 1 guy is, let's see, 00. I mean the vnet 1 thing as per our gateway is this, having the 172.16.0.100 sort of network. So let's do this guys. Let's change this vmnet 1 uh, this IP addresses which is getting from the DSCP with 172.16.0.0, and the subnet mask is this. Let's apply this, okay. And it's just ailing, both are having the same IP addresses. Let's change this VNet 8 to some other IP addresses. I would say no, not some other IP addresses. It's with our this guy ETH2 10.10.10.100. So let me change that here. 10.10.10.0 subnet mask is same. Okay, let's apply. So now the setting will be look like this. The VM net 8 having NAT type which having 10.10.10.0, VM net 1 which having host only settings which will be having 172.16.0.0 IP address subnet range. VNet 0 is your bridge guy which having this normal 192.168.1.0 sort of subnet, right? And let me just quickly show you this part as well. So if you see my firewall configuration, so ETH0, consider it's a VNet. Let me take this pen for better understanding. So ETH0 will match to this guy, okay, which is having bridge. ETH1 will be going to match this guy, VNet, and ETH2 will be matching this guy, VNet 8, okay, and accordingly will be going to give these operators, okay. So VNet 1 will be 172, VNet 8 will be 10.10.10. Okay. Let me just clear up this thing and let's me go back to my VM environment. Uh, everything looks good here. Let me say OK. Let's go to the gateway, to the settings. Bridge 1 is the same, no problem. You can also customly give it like a VNet 0, but I think bridge will fine. Replicate the network, that is fine. ETH2 will be your 172 one thing, 172.16.0 subnet thing, which we decided to put into the VNet 1. And this guy, network 3 will be NAT setting, will be at VNet 8. So basic setup is this: the RAM, processor, hard disk. That is a different story. But this is need to be there so that at least we'll try to communicate their uh, respective gateways from same machine. Okay, so this setting is there. For the demo purpose, let me power on this guy, one of the guy, and test it from there. So resume this guy. So we'll test thing one by one. So as I'm connected to the gateway, I'm okay with the bridge connections. So let's put this guy first into the VMnet 1, who's having IP address range from 172. Let me just log into this guy. Come on. Minimize this. So if you ping the gateway, which is 172.16.0.100, make a continue ping. It will not ping just because the network is unreachable. Let's go ahead and change the network setting here. Let me go ahead and go to the network adapter and give it a IP address 172.16.0. I would say for the testing 5, and default gateway 172.16.0 dot I think it's 100. Yeah, I think now it's supposedly able to communicate. Yes, so I'm reaching to this I would say the DLG environment from this guy. Now let's power off this guy and power on this guy. So let me just log into this guy. Let me first see what is the IP config here. So it's 172.16. Okay, so if I ping with this guy, this IP address, it should not ping. Right? So this is right. So let me just give this thing here, continuous ping. And what we will do, we'll go ahead and do some changes. Number one change, I want to put this guy into VNet 8. So let's go ahead and do this, because this is your internal network. So having changing that will not work. That is fine. Let's go ahead and go to the network adapter or manage connections, properties is there. So let's give the IP address 10.10.10.5 and default gateway will be 10.10.10.100. Okay, now it should ping. Okay, so as you can see, we are reaching to this default gateway, and what are the settings we have configured on the firewall, and this thing is working. So let me just stop this. Okay, uh, and let's just power off this guy as well. Okay, so what we have learned in this video will be just saw basic communications between uh, these different virtual networks with gateways, right? Similarly, in next video we'll be configuring the load balancers, and we'll be trying to see the basic setups as per our topology, right? And slowly we'll be progressing towards the next steps, configuration. Stay tuned and try to subscribe my channel and comment what are the things you looking for in this series, different things which you wanted to add, uh, wanted to replace. We'll do that if that is feasible and available, and we'll continue on this series. So guys, thanks for watching this video and have a wonderful day.